Please welcome the CEO and founder of Black Box Safety Incorporated, Jackson Dalton. Jackson, welcome.
Thank you, Tom. Thank you for having me on your show. I really appreciate it. It means a lot to me.
Well, it's a delight to have you here. Talk to us a little bit about kind of how you got started in this business. What is it about you? What is it about your past? And how did that bring you to where you are now?
Do you mind if I go all the way back to the beginning?
Whatever works. Our audience wants to know you first.
Okay, well, thank you for asking. I was born in Minneapolis, Minnesota, so I'm a Midwestern guy, and I wrestled in high school. Wanted to be a recon Marine. My cousin is a retired gunny. My uncle is a retired chief warrant officer in the Marine Corps. So it was in my blood for sure, and it was something that I always wanted to do. When I graduated from high school, I was reading a copy of National Geographic, and I saw this trip about the Everglades. Very nasty place, not very hospitable to human life. And on impulse, I flew to the Everglades, and I kayaked from the top to the bottom of the Everglades, which was like 100 miles. And I was surrounded by alligators and crocodiles and sharks, and I was doing 25-mile-a-day paddles. And it was after I finished that trip that I thought, man, I think I could do just about anything. I've got the mindset for it. I have a high pain threshold. And it was at that point that I had the confidence to enlist in the Marine Corps. So I enlisted in the Marine Corps and on an infantry contract because I wanted to be a recon Marine. And I went to MCRD at San Diego. And after that, I went to Infantry Training Battalion up at Camp Pendleton. And throughout that whole process, I'm a pretty avid proficient swimmer, so I got my water survival qualification, and I was selected by Amphibious Reconnaissance to get in their pipeline. So I flew out to, at the time, Little Creek, Virginia, to attend Amphibious Reconnaissance School. And it was a 10-week program. Week 6, I was running with a 120-pound rucksack, and my femur literally snapped in half mid-stride. And that was, like you said, that was the tragic accident in the Marine Corps. I didn't walk for a year. I had 3 leg surgeries to get my leg put back together. I ended up with a staph infection. My bone died of avascular necrosis. A bunch of bad things happened. And finally, they replaced my hip with a total right hip replacement. And I medically retired from the Marine Corps.
Wow. So that was really kind of the beginning of knowing that you had the perseverance, not just as a soldier, but ultimately as an entrepreneur, which takes an awful lot of perseverance. From that beginning that you've described, talk us through a little bit of how that transpired into starting this company.
That's a good question, Tom. So how did that lead to my career in occupational health and safety, which I've been doing for the last 12 years? The way that transpired was after I medically retired from the Marine Corps as a Lance Corporal, I went back to Minnesota and I studied business, and I got a 4-year business degree. And I knew that I wanted to leverage my skills of extroversion and communication, and I like to talk to people, and I like to sell and communicate. I wanted to use that gift, but I wanted to use it for something that would help people. And I had that grittiness that I got from that experience in the Marine Corps. That was the first time that I tried something and failed at it. And so I kind of wanted to combine that story and help people. And my senior year in college, I attended a career fair, and I walked by this company. They had posters of guys climbing wind towers and structural steel and telecommunication towers. And I just walked up to them and I said, I can do that. And lo and behold, they were hiring a territory sales manager. This is now a 3M company. Wow. They manufacture safety harnesses. And so they hired me as a territory sales manager, sent me from Minnesota back to Southern California, which, I was out here for the Marine Corps. And I became the territory sales manager for that 3M company, managing a territory of California, Nevada, and Arizona. And that's how I got into health and safety.
Well, you've established then a level of experience in this business, but at that time you were working for somebody else. What happened where you said to yourself in the mirror, I can do this on my own?
Wow, that is an even better question. It was a long process. It was about 10 years from my first day at Capital Safety, a 3M company, to leaving 3M to starting my own business. And the way that looked is I was a subject matter expert in my field at the time, which was fall protection, safety harnesses, work at height, things like that. And but I didn't feel like an expert, so I went back to Minnesota and I got a master's degree in occupational health and safety. And it was at that point in time, still working at 3M, that I started to think, you know what, I think I have something to offer the world. My mantra has always been that, you know, I got hurt at work. And it changed my life forever. You know, I used to be an avid runner, martial arts, things like that, and now I have to do very low impact things like swimming and yoga, things that I'm grateful that I can do, but it's not what I used to do. Those are not my passions, right? So my mantra is that, you know, I want to help make sure that others aren't hurt at work so that they can continue to do the things that they love with the people that they love to do them with. And to answer your question, I was a safety engineer, corporate safety engineer at 3M. So I was helping to manage health and safety for all of 220 3M manufacturing sites around the world and doing accident investigations and things like that. Very important job,
sure.
But I wasn't fulfilled personally. I was watching Shark Tank in my spare time and YouTube videos about, you know, how to start a business. And just like that moment in the Everglades when I thought I can hack it in the Marine Corps, I had the same realization that I think that I have what it takes to start my own company. So 2 years ago, I left a good job at 3M and I started my own company, Black Box Safety. And we are a distributor of safety products and we provide safety training.
What is it that you feel you bring that not everybody else does? What's kind of your unique selling proposition, if you will?
I would say that our unique value proposition is that I've been working with fall protection and health and safety for 12 years. And today, I'm a distributor of that equipment.
Gotcha.
99% of distributors of health and safety equipment out there, they're not subject matter experts in health and safety. They're order takers. You know, if you know the part number that you want, they'll facilitate that transaction. But they can't tell you, this is the harness you need, this is the respirator you need,
sure.
This is the hearing protection. They don't have the background in order to give you that subject matter expertise that you need in order to reduce your risk as an employer down to an acceptable level.
Wow.
And that's what I do.
Well, and that's crucial to do. We got about 15 seconds. What's the last thing you want us to remember as an audience?
If you or anyone that you know has any connections within the government agencies, the VA healthcare system, Department of Corrections, Department of Transportation, if you know of anybody that uses this equipment, please send them my way, blackboxsafety.com. Give us a call and we will help you out.
Great. Thank you so much. That's inspiring, not only your own personal story, but how you've paid it forward and making the world better a little bit at a time. So thank you so much.
Thanks for having me on your show, Tom.
It is my pleasure. Once again, we see someone who took personal challenge, turned it into a successful business, and is now giving back to others.